count up, see who's skedaddled. Do you know, physically, I think most people are here. We'll just do a little sort of mental little chest test now. Are you good at lateral thinking? Well, we'll give it a go. I'm going to tell you a Brazilian joke, very short. And after I've told it, 3 things might happen. 1, just silence, but that's okay. 2, silence, and then somebody will start laughing. Everybody else will be thinking what they're laughing at. Or 3, everybody laughs. Should we try it and see? 2 Brazilian parrots sitting on a perch. One turns to the other and says, "Do you smell fish?" Number 1. We're going to do it again. They're laughing, but they don't know why they're laughing. Right, do it again. I'll emphasise some words. 2 Brazilian parrots sitting on a perch. One turns to the other and says, "Do you smell fish?" Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I'll forget the script. I'll just tell a few more jokes. No, okay. Right, here we go. Now then. Between 1870 and 1920, Rio developed into a major industrialised city. This was accompanied by migration of families from Bahia in the north. They were mostly of African, Bantu and Yoruba ethnic backgrounds, and they brought their culture and religion with them. They settled in central districts of Rio in an area which became known as Little Africa. In the Bahiran culture, the prominent figures in society tended to be the women. Well, ladies, you knew that. And they were known as the Bahiran aunts. They were often priests in the Candomblé region and worked as street food vendors or as domestic help to rich families. One famous aunt, known as Chia Siata, was largely responsible. I'm getting muddled up on the English words, not One famous aunt, oh, by the way, just keep that all in your head. I've been told by the percussionist member of the band, Judith, there she is in the middle, look, she's looking quite stern. She said, "Will you tell the audience not to fiddle with the percussion instruments which are in the pews until she tells you?" So there you go. So if you've got the urge to have a little fiddle, look at Judith. She's not looking happy. If she hears any sounds at the wrong time, there will be an opportunity to play. Won't there, Judith? 2 opportunities. If you're good, 2 opportunities. Right, back to the aunts. One famous aunt, known as Chia Siata, was largely responsible for the development of the song and dance form known as samba. We like the samba. She was by all accounts, I like this. She was by all accounts known as the samba. Oh, you're late. Right. She was by all accounts a charismatic figure, a priest and faith healer, skilled in singing, dancing and cooking. So ladies, next time you're cooking, do a bit of dancing, a bit of singing, and then you'll be doing the samba, you see. She regularly held what we would probably call a salon in her house, where the backyard was often the scene of samba gatherings, which involved percussion instruments, singing and dancing, as well as eating and drinking. It's a long one, this one. I'm nearly at the end of it. Because African drumming at the time created ideas of unhealthy religious rituals, should I be saying that in the church? These activities sometimes attracted the attention of the police. So Chia Siata would ensure that at the front of her house there were musicians, many of whom were white, playing in the choro style, which was considered to be much more genteel and respectable. So you could stay at the front, but if you wanted the fun, you went round the back. It was this environment which led to the cross-fertilisation between choro and samba, and some big names in the music world were often in attendance, including Pixinguinha and the classical composer Villa-Lobos. Did it. So now we are going to play for you an example of that more sedate choro style. It's a song called Flamengo, which is the name of an affluent, leafy district of Rio. Flamengo, an affluent, leafy district, the Brazilian equivalent of shoe bottle, perhaps.
You've got an extra one to play first.
So, Mark, put me straight.
Before we do that, we're going to play one called Não Me Toques.
Ah, do you see? Now, what you're going to have to do, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. What should have happened, and we're not going to do a replay, is the band should have played, I did my spiel, that long bit, and then they play again. So what they're going to do is you've got all that information, all about the answer, you know it all. Look at them, they've absolutely jumped up it all. So you're going to do 2 pieces, aren't you? And then we'll be back on. Over to the band.